Rain hammered against the barracks roof as tension curled through the air like smoke. 50 troops stood in formation, boots rooted in mud, breaths sharp in the cold. And in front of all of them stood Lena Hart, the quiet, steady lieutenant known for her calm voice and the scars she never spoke about. She didn't provoke trouble. She rarely even raised her voice. But today, someone else did. Corporal Huxley, a man who mistook his rank for permission, stepped forward with anger brimming in his shoulders. His pride wounded, his ego blazing. He spat the words that would ignite everything. "You don't deserve that insignia," the insult hung. They're wet, heavy, cruel. And then he moved fast and reckless, raising his hand as if he could tear away her dignity with one strike. Before the crowd could react, the world narrowed to a single heartbeat. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Huxley's hand came down, but Lena was quicker. Her fingers locked around his wrist with a precision honed in darker places, far from training grounds or daylight. A twist, a pivot, a surge of controlled force, and the crack echoed louder than the thunder above. Huxley screamed. The troops froze, and the commander's eyes widened, not in shock, but in recognition. For a brief moment, Lena's calm cracked, not with fear, but with memory. She had promised herself she'd never need to use that level of force again, not outside a battlefield. She had once believed she'd be done with breaking bones. She thought she'd never see that part of her life again. But she was wrong. The troops whispered, the rain softened, and a strange stillness washed over the field as Huxley fell to his knees. His bravado dissolved into pain, his arrogance into disbelief. But Lena didn't look victorious. She looked tired. Not from the fight, but from the reason she had to fight at all. Commander Reyes stepped forward with the slow, measured steps of a man who had seen more than most and lost more than he ever admitted. His gaze swept over the troops, reminding them with silence what respect actually looked like. "Lieutenant Hart," he said quietly, "are you injured?" She shook her head. "Oh, sir." His eyes softened, the kind of softness that comes only from old guilt and older gratitude, because he remembered. The day she dragged him from the rubble overseas, her arm bleeding, her voice steady, even as the world crumbled around them. He owed her his life, and though many here didn't know her story, he did. But the moral weight hung heavy. Huxley had crossed lines, but had she gone too far? The troops held their breath, unsure whether this day would end with discipline, disgrace, or something even darker. Reyes looked down at Huxley, now clutching his broken arm. "You tried to strike an officer," he said. "You tried to strike her." The murmurs intensified. Rainwater pooled at their boots. Fear and relief twisted together like two vines fighting for the same space. Then Reyes turned back to Lena. "You showed restraint," he said. Some troops blinked. Restraint? She had shattered his arm, but Lena understood. She had ended it without lasting damage. She had chosen the cleanest break possible, the one that healed fast. The one that protected him from his own stupidity more than it punished him. A whisper rippled through the formation. A shift, slow yet seismic, as the troops looked at her differently. Not as a quiet lieutenant. Not as a woman in uniform. But as someone who had survived more than they knew and still chose dignity first. Reyes placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Report to my office after this," he said. "It's not for reprimand, for something else." The tension cracked. The captain-level officers exhaled. Some soldiers straightened with new respect. And for the first time that day, Lena allowed herself a small breath of relief. Because justice for once didn't feel like vengeance, felt like clarity. Huxley was escorted away, humiliated but alive. The troops dispersed. Lena stood there, letting the rain wash over her face like a quiet apology from the sky. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits and it finds its way back. And as Lena walked off the field, the rain easing into gentle mist, it felt almost poetic that the storm had broken before she did. Thank you for listening to this story. If it moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Whispered Words for more emotional mission stories that stay with you long after they end. Your next story is waiting. Don't miss it.